7 of the most popular EDC pistols on the market. Different brands, different reputations, different price points, but only one truth under pressure. In this test, it's not about hype or marketing, it's about control, reliability, and real performance when things go wrong. Stay with me, because what looks good on paper doesn't always survive reality. This video is for educational purposes only and does not promote harm or unsafe use of firearms. Number 7. Ruger Max 9. Most people looked at the Ruger Max 9 and made the same mistake immediately. They underestimated it. In a market flooded with flashy optics-ready carry pistols and overpriced tactical builds, the Max 9 walked in, quiet, compact, and almost ignored. But after running it hard beside some of the biggest names in the EDC world, this little pistol started doing something dangerous. It started embarrassing guns that cost hundreds more. And that's where things get interesting. The Ruger Max 9 isn't trying to look elite. It's trying to survive abuse. The slide feels aggressive without being oversized. The grip texture locks into your hand under recoil, and the trigger has a cleaner break than most people expect from a pistol sitting in this price category. It's not buttery smooth like a custom competition gun. It's raw, defensive, and purpose-built. Exactly what an everyday carry pistol should be. What really shocked me was the balance. Some micro-compacts feel snappy, twitchy, almost nervous under rapid fire. The Max 9 stays planted. Fast follow-up shots feel natural, and the optics-ready system gives it modern capability without turning it into a bulky brick on your belt. This is the kind of pistol you forget you're carrying until you need it. Now this is the part nobody talks about. Reliability changes everything. Fancy features mean nothing if a gun fails under pressure. The Max 9 kept running, dirty, hot, and pushed hard. No drama, no excuses, just consistent performance. That matters when you're betting your life on something smaller than your hand. Number 6. Taurus GX4. The Taurus GX4 entered this test with a reputation problem. Some people still hear the word Taurus and instantly think cheap, unreliable, second tier. But the moment I started running the GX4 beside pistols costing nearly twice as much, that old narrative started falling apart fast. Because this gun doesn't behave like a budget carry pistol. It behaves like something that's fighting to prove a point. And honestly, it does. The first thing that hits you is how compact the GX4 feels without becoming uncomfortable to shoot. A lot of micro-compacts sacrifice control for concealment. They disappear under a t-shirt, sure, but the recoil punishes your hands and slows your follow-up shots. The GX4 found a balance most companies still struggle to achieve. The grip texture bites just enough. The frame sits naturally in the hand, and the recoil impulse feels surprisingly controlled for a pistol this size. But here's where it gets interesting. The trigger. Taurus didn't give this pistol the mushy, lifeless trigger people expected. The GX4 has a cleaner break than many guns in its class, with a short reset that keeps the gun fast during defensive shooting. It feels responsive, alert, like it actually wants to run hard. Then came the reliability testing. Heat, dirt, long-range sessions, rapid strings of fire. This little pistol kept pushing forward like it had something to prove. And maybe it does, because the GX4 isn't just competing against other carry guns, it's fighting years of skepticism attached to its brand name. Visually, it's not trying to be flashy. No oversized controls, no exaggerated styling, just a lean, modern, defensive pistol built around one mission. Number 5. Kimber Micro 9. The Kimber Micro 9 doesn't feel like a modern polymer EDC pistol trying to compete in today's high-capacity world. It feels like something with heritage built into every line. The first impression is classic, almost old school. But the moment you rack the slide, you realize this is not a nostalgic showpiece. It's a compact defensive tool that carries a different kind of confidence. In the hand, the Micro 9 is slim, almost elegant, and that single-stack design immediately tells you its purpose. Deep concealment, absolute discretion, and close-range reliability. It disappears under clothing in a way bulkier pistols simply can't match. But that slim profile comes with a trade-off, and you feel it during rapid fire. The recoil is sharper, more direct, and demands discipline from the shooter. Still, there's a smoothness to its operation that stands out. The trigger has a clean break, the slide cycles with a refined feel, and the overall fit gives off a premium impression. It doesn't scream for attention. It earns respect quietly. This is not a high-capacity battlefield tool. This is a last-line defensive pistol built for precision moments, not extended firefights. Number 4. Sig Sauer P320 Compact. The Sig Sauer P320 Compact enters this lineup with a different level of expectation attached to it. This isn't a micro-carry experiment or a budget contender trying to prove itself. This is a platform that has already seen military contracts, law enforcement duty belts, and real-world defensive use across the globe. And that reputation alone puts pressure on every shot it fires. From the moment you pick it up, the P320 Compact feels controlled and balanced. It sits heavier than the ultralight carry pistols, but that weight becomes an advantage the second you start shooting. Recoil management feels almost predictable, like the gun is guiding your follow-up shots instead of fighting them. The modular frame design also changes the experience. It doesn't feel like a fixed identity pistol. It feels adaptable, like it can evolve with the shooter. The trigger is where opinions usually split, but under live fire, it shows its purpose clearly. It's consistent. Not overly light, not unpredictable, just steady pressure, clean break, and a reset you can work with under stress. It's built for function, not emotion. Where the P320 Compact separates itself is sustained performance. When the pace increases and fatigue sets in, the gun doesn't fall apart. It stays composed, even when the shooter doesn't. That matters in defensive scenarios more than people realize. This isn't a trendy EDC piece. It's a duty-rooted platform that moved into the concealed carry world without losing its backbone. Number 3. Springfield XDM Elite Compact. The Springfield XDM Elite Compact doesn't walk into the EDC conversation quietly. It arrives with intent. This is a pistol built on a reputation for being over-engineered in all the right ways. From the first moment you grip it, it feels dense, structured, almost locked in, like it was designed to handle more punishment than a concealed carry gun is usually asked to survive. There's a certain stiffness in its personality. Not a flaw, more like discipline. The slide racks with authority, the frame feels solid under pressure, and everything about it suggests durability over delicacy. In fast shooting, that extra structure shows its value. The muzzle rise is controlled, not because the gun is soft, but because it refuses to get chaotic under recoil. The trigger is where the XDM Elite Compact starts to separate itself. It breaks with a crisp, mechanical snap that feels deliberate. There's no softness, no vague travel, just a clear wall and a defined break that rewards a trained finger. It's the kind of trigger that forces consistency. And here's where it becomes interesting. This pistol isn't chasing the lightest carry feel or smallest profile crown. Instead, it leans into performance under stress. When rounds start stacking up and speed increases, the XDM Elite Compact stays composed, almost like it expects aggression and doesn't flinch from it. It carries slightly heavier than some micro-compacts, but that weight translates into stability. In real defensive scenarios, stability often matters more than comfort, because comfort disappears the moment pressure appears. Number 2. Shadow Systems CR920XL. The Shadow Systems CR920XL enters this lineup with a completely different energy. This isn't just another compact pistol trying to blend in. It feels engineered with intention, like someone studied the modern EDC market and decided to refine everything people complained about. The result is a pistol that feels both familiar and elevated at the same time. From the first grip, the CR920XL feels locked into your hand. The texture is aggressive without being painful, giving you control even when your hands are sweaty or under pressure. The frame geometry feels tuned rather than copied, and that becomes obvious once you start running faster strings of fire. It doesn't shift in your hand, it stays exactly where you index it. The recoil impulse is one of its strongest traits. Instead of a sharp snap common in micro-compacts, it delivers a flatter, more controlled push. That makes follow-up shots faster and more natural, especially when pushing the gun at defensive speed. It feels like a pistol that wants to stay on target, not jump off it. The trigger also stands out in this class. It has a clean wall, a crisp break, and a reset that encourages rhythm shooting. It's not just functional, it feels refined, almost tuned from the factory for shooters who actually practice. But here's where things get interesting. Shadow Systems didn't just build a carry gun, they built a performance carry gun. Number 1, Smith & Wesson M and P Shield X. The Smith & Wesson M and P Shield X steps into this lineup carrying one of the most recognizable names in concealed carry history. The Shield series has already built its reputation on simplicity, reliability, and real-world defensive trust. But the Shield X feels like a more modern evolution, still grounded in the same philosophy, but updated for today's EDC expectations. In the hand, it feels familiar yet refined. Slim enough for deep concealment, but shaped in a way that feels more confident under recoil than earlier Shield generations. There's a sense of balance here that doesn't scream for attention. It just works. And that's exactly what made the original Shield series so dominant in the first place. When firing, the Shield X behaves like a disciplined defensive tool. The recoil is controlled, not overly soft, but predictable. It doesn't try to feel like a competition pistol. Instead, it focuses on repeatable performance, shot after shot, under stress, without surprises. That predictability is what makes it valuable in real defensive situations. The trigger is clean and direct, with a more modern feel compared to older Shield models. It doesn't overcomplicate things. It breaks, resets, and allows the shooter to stay focused on target rather than thinking about mechanics. Outro. We just ran 7 of the most talked-about EDC pistols through a reality check. Some impressed, some surprised, and one may have changed everything you think you know about concealed carry. But the real question is simple. When it actually matters, which one are you trusting? This isn't hype. This is gun authority.